Alrighty, the entity is stalking by helicopter. This is P.O.C. They're doing so as I just published the podcast onto the website. This is again not police training at 303 North Euclid Avenue where the Ontario police are gang stalking under that 7 a.m. fake sun. This is the same exact stalking conduct that the Ontario police is engaging in every day, and the fact that they are abusing what are the resources and what are the activities of police departments where they're engaging in what the satanic system of federal group stalking and monitoring, stalking me in helicopter, and the Ontario police are in relevant position on the opposite side of the street, stalking in the path and holding up a sign saying police training. It's the P.O.C. That's exactly what I captured on video. Bigger context, the entity is stalking in helicopter at this same intersection on June 4, 2025 at 6:10 p.m. This is not the natural environment where at what is 9:09 a.m. the entity is surrounded with the evidence, which is putting every other gang stalking police officer in federal prison. The demon that's gang stalking in vehicle number 1076 right here at the 280 North Limit Apartments. This is the Ovid Family Community Library. This is the parking garage. This is Euclid Avenue and C Street where the entity keeps the fake sun over me everywhere that I'm every time that I travel to this library. 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9 hours from now in the natural environment, the sun would not be still here over me as I'm at that intersection where the Ontario police are gang stalking me with the people of the state. City of Ontario is stalking. It's not landscaping, it's activity creation. We already know that the municipality is engaged in what is landscaping under the fake sun around me while they're stalking as demons in the engineered light. This is not sunlight and neither is that the sun. You're also going to compare the criminal conduct of the Ontario police, the City of Ontario, with the Los Angeles Police Department, where Dominic Choi is targeting me with helicopters at Alvarado Gardens while the entity kept the fake sun over me at Alvarado Gardens at 1800 to 1818 North Alvarado Street in Los Angeles, replete with what is following me to Chase Bank, for example, where the Los Angeles police engaged in flying in circles over me over my bank, like the Ontario police are engaging in as I document them stalking me day and night under the fake sun during the day, where the entity has this fake sun. Ontario police are gang stalking at 1:07 p.m. at this library. They're going to federal prison. I documented that on video. Ontario police are gang stalking right here at 6:26 p.m. I documented it on video. He's going to federal prison. The Ontario police are gang stalking crossing path, doing so like they're crossing path in helicopter under this fake sun that's still here at 4:07 p.m. He's going to federal prison. The Ontario Police Department are gang stalking for a series of years, repeatedly engaging in kidnapping at this library at 10:29 a.m. on June 16, 2025, including the heavily documented Corey Watson, badge number 80548. He's going to federal prison, and so is every other kidnapper at this Ovid Family Community Library where the entity keeps the fake sun and surveillance remains underway. It's not police training, it's the P.O.C. Those are demons, and that entire department is being disbanded. The entity is stalking me by helicopter at this moment while I'm publishing the podcast, which is available as of right now, and as I'm in operation of my device, and the demons are sounding. This is noise in the engineer light while the fake sun is over me, which is a supernatural occurrence that's getting to the intent to maintain the elements of monitoring. This is gang stalking that is also underway by the City of Ontario. You'll recall that I am at the Ontario Police Department, 2500 South Archibald Avenue. I'm documenting on podcast. I am present and I'm documenting the fake sun over my head and engineer light inside of that Ontario Police Department. That is not this. This is not over the police department. It's not going to be at 9:32 a.m. and the entity is stalking like I documented at the Ontario City Hall, where the entity is keeping that fake sun and always engaging in the pattern of incriminating themselves. They're being disbanded while the entity sounds helicopter activity. This is the entity that sought to steal property by defaming my character through demons like Tracy Banks, through demons like Jason Isaac Fields, through the demons that have stolen my real property, my personal property, sought to suppress my intellectual property while online, and doing so through the criminal conduct of the targeting entity, the Ontario Police, who are being disbanded for seeking to steal from me by criminally defaming my character via repeatedly kidnapping. They're gang stalking. I want to be clear. This is the disbanding of a corrupt police department that's engaged in state targeting, and this criminal conduct by this department is what corrupt courts have used in order to defame my character while not telling me about property that belongs to me, keeping that property from me while simultaneously targeting and defaming my character in those corrupt courts where judges have stolen property that belonged to me. They've engaged in entertaining defamation while they're engaged in the pattern of conduct which I've been documenting the City of Ontario engaging in together for years in concert with the people of the state, because that's what you're looking at, criminal monitoring right here under the fake sun with the Ontario Police Department, shared with the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department. Entirely illegitimate departments engaged in state surveillance. Tracy Banks and Jason Isaac Fields are going to federal prison pursuant to targeting me and targeting me with the purpose of profiting, stealing property while the entity is engaging in what is abusing the Welfare and Institutions Code, trying to manufacture mental illness while they're gang stalking an American citizen who was subject to repeated acts of kidnapping, and then relying on that criminal conduct, those acts of targeting, to defame my character so that they can substantiate what is stealing my property that the entity never told me exists, never told me belongs to me. And the obvious stalking by the Ontario police is the entire destruction of that criminal effort, okay? In addition to that, they're being disbanded. It is currently 9:13 a.m. where the fake sun is still here at 6 p.m. And that's giving you context about stalking deviating from taking off from 2500 Airport Drive. There's no airports where you're taking off from the airport where you're going to be hovering over, and you can see which takes international flights, and they're taking off from Terminal 2, Terminal 4. It's published on the website. Terminal 2 and Terminal 4 is not going to result in what is flying over the Ontario Town Square, and at that they're doing it where the fake sun remains for 11 hours over the day. That is the City of Ontario targeting, just like the Ontario Police Department are. This is the department that the corrupt courts have relied on while they're targeting and seeking to manufacture what is a totally engineered record and an unlawful basis to steal property from an American citizen that suffers no mental illness whatsoever. And the entity is going to federal prison for that. The judges that engaged in stealing from me while they're engaged in state targeting, because that's what this criminal system is exposing, the corrupt judges that intentionally didn't tell me about property that belongs to me while keeping that in controversy in corrupt courthouses while my character is being defamed unbeknownst to me, and the entity is stealing my property. And it's all a distraction from what is the criminal conduct that this state and Tracy Banks and Jason Isaac Fields have engaged in, such as feigning deaths of the person who owns property, such as engaging in what is child trafficking, such as engaging in what is kidnapping. These are the crimes that the entity wants to be a distraction away from while defaming my character and wanting to steal my property in doing so. This is speaking to the prosecution of the state. It's an unprecedented basis of public corruption. It is exposing state surveillance, and the entity is being prosecuted in addition to what is removing the public officials. Karen Bass removal from mayor while she's gang stalking in Los Angeles with the LAPD and the people of the state. Paul Leon, Alan D. Wapner, Mike Lorenz, Michael Gherkin, these demons, amongst others, to be removed from position while they're engaged in state surveillance with the corrupt population. They're driving on the same street, stalking with light across the building, pursuant to monitoring, and this fake sun is still here 10 hours from now. That's the population that's gang stalking with the police department that's being disbanded. It is currently, again, 9:15 a.m., very far from 2500 South Archibald. That's not the sun over the Ontario Police Department. That's the identification of a bunch of demons that are going to be relieved from being confused with law enforcement ever again. This is P.O.C.